Every single day, your body is performing this incredible high-stakes balancing act that you're probably not even aware of. It's all about the protein you eat, whether it's from chicken, beans, or that protein shake you just had. And it involves a surprisingly toxic byproduct. So yeah, let's dive into this hidden daily detox. So it really all starts with this simple but super important question. Your body is amazing at storing energy, right? It can pack away carbohydrates as glycogen, it can store fats for a rainy day, but protein? Nope. There is no dedicated storage closet for protein. And that, right there, creates this really unique challenge for your body every single day. And this brings us to what we can call the protein predicament. Because you can't just store it, every single bit of protein that comes in has to be accounted for, like, right now. It's a constant real-time game of use it or lose it. So, how does your body even keep track of all this? Well, it uses something called nitrogen balance. The best way to think about it is like a bank account, but for nitrogen. That's the key element that makes protein protein. In a healthy adult, what you put in through your food should exactly equal what you get rid of. It's this perfect state of equilibrium. But of course, that balance isn't always perfect. It can shift. And what's so cool is how this connects to different stages of our lives. Take a growing kid, a pregnant woman, or someone recovering from an injury. They're in what we call a positive nitrogen balance. They're actually holding on to more nitrogen than they're losing because, well, they're building new tissue. But then on the flip side, serious illness or malnutrition can throw you into a negative balance, and that's when the body is unfortunately breaking down more protein than it's taking in. Okay, so if we can't store protein, where do all those building blocks, the amino acids, actually go? Well, they all get funneled into this central hub. You can think of it like a metabolic currency exchange, and we call this the amino acid pool. Now, the amino acid pool isn't like a swimming pool somewhere in your body. It's more of a concept. It's basically the body's entire collection of free-floating amino acids at any given moment. It's this temporary holding pen where amino acids from the food you just ate get mixed in with amino acids from your body's own recycling program, all ready to be shipped out wherever they're needed. And get this is the kicker. For an entire adult body, this supercritical pool is only about 100 grams. That's it. It is tiny. We're not talking about some huge reservoir here. It's more like a small, rapidly turning over puddle. It just goes to show how incredibly active this whole system really is. And I mean, just look at these numbers. They're wild. While you might eat, say, 100 grams of protein in a day, your body is breaking down and rebuilding somewhere around 400 grams of its own protein every single day. So this little pool is just constantly being filled and drained, making new proteins, creating hormones, even being burned for energy. It is absolutely nonstop. So here's where things get really, really important. Whenever an amino acid is going to be used for something other than building a new protein, say for energy, it has to be broken apart. And every single one has these two components. You've got a carbon skeleton, which is incredibly useful, and then you have an amino group, which contains nitrogen. And that nitrogen part all by itself is actually toxic. Which brings us to the body's first and most urgent job, safely managing that toxic nitrogen. This is a cleanup operation that has to run flawlessly, 24/7, no exceptions. And the body has this really brilliant two-step strategy. First, it has to collect all those stray nitrogen atoms from different amino acids without letting the really toxic form, ammonia, build up. Second, it needs to package that nitrogen into a safe molecule and then get it out of the body for good. This all happens through two key processes. First up is transamination. You can think of this like passing a hot potato. The nitrogen group gets safely transferred from various amino acids onto one single collector molecule, glutamate. Then comes deamination. In the safety of the liver, that collector molecule, glutamate, finally releases the nitrogen as free ammonia, putting it in the one and only place that can detoxify it immediately. And that immediate solution is the urea cycle. The liver takes that highly toxic ammonia and, through a series of chemical reactions, turns it into urea. Urea is way, way less toxic and it's water-soluble, which makes it super easy for the kidneys to filter out and get rid of in your urine. Problem solved. So, with the toxic nitrogen handled, what about the other half of the amino acid? Let's pivot to the incredibly useful leftovers, the carbon skeletons. Your body is the ultimate recycler. It wastes nothing. These carbon skeletons are valuable. They can be plugged directly into the TCA cycle, which is the body's main engine for producing energy. They can be converted into glucose to fuel your brain, or if you've got more than you need, they can even be turned into fat for storage. And they're not all the same. We can actually categorize them based on what they become. Most are glucogenic, meaning they can make glucose. A couple, like leucine and lysine, are strictly ketogenic, which is why they're so important for people on keto diets. And then a few are versatile enough to be both. This flexibility is absolutely key to how your body adapts to different metabolic needs. Now, we've seen how elegant and amazing this system is. But what happens when it fails? What happens when the liver can no longer convert that toxic ammonia into safe urea? Well, the consequences are devastating, particularly for one organ. When the liver falters, ammonia levels in the blood begin to skyrocket, and free ammonia is a powerful poison for the brain. It crosses the blood-brain barrier and just begins to wreak havoc in a number of really scary ways. The attack is multi-pronged. First, it literally starves brain cells of energy. Second, it causes dangerous brain swelling at a cellular level. Third, it throws critical brain chemicals, your neurotransmitters, completely out of balance. And finally, it disrupts the basic electrical signals that neurons use to communicate, causing widespread dysfunction. So as we wrap up, consider this. This intricate, life-sustaining detoxification process is running inside you, without pause, every moment of every single day. It highlights the incredible importance of a healthy liver and a balanced diet. So the real question is, knowing how delicate this balance really is, what choices can we make to support this vital, nonstop cleanup?